Well, hello there and good morning to everyone. We want to welcome you to the FirstFunding FlexClose Funding webinar. And today we're going to share with you how to create a valuable partnership using FlexClose Funding. My name is Ginger Bell, and I will be guiding you through the information today along with my co-presenter, Greg Chafin. Hello, Greg.
Hello, good morning.
So as you're getting logged in, you used to have a lot of questions about using Zoom. Y'all are probably getting very familiar with using Zoom these days, but just a reminder, you can listen either on your phone or on your computer. And if you do have questions today, we do have everyone muted because we do have a fairly large size group on this webinar today, which we're super excited about. But if you do have questions, you can type them in either the Q&A box or in the chat box. So either one of those will get to me, and feel free to type in questions as you go along. If it's something pertaining to a certain area that Greg is covering, then I will be sure to stop and say, hey, we have some clarification on this for Greg. Otherwise, we'll have an opportunity at the end to answer any questions as well. And I'm going to do a quick little sound check to make sure that y'all can hear us and you know how to ask questions. And it's not just Greg and I having a conversation with each other, which is always lovely. But if you can type into the chat box or into the Q&A box, let me know where you're calling in from. Greg, it's springtime, so you never know what you're going to get with weather. It could be snow, it could be ice, it could be whatever. We have a beautiful sunshine day in Portland, Oregon, where I'm at today. Blue skies, no rain, which is unusual for us. How about you? How's your weather, Greg?
Well, we are cloudy. We have maybe
Ah,
today, which is not normal for us, but it's going to be about 80 degrees today, so it's going to be nice. A little bit windy.
oh, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Very good. So I'm saying everyone, very good. California, Louisiana, beautiful spring day. I'm heading to Atlanta on Sunday, and I hear the azaleas are beautiful. And we see Colorado Springs, Miami, always good weather there. So very good. Okay, so you all can hear us. You all can ask questions. So that's what you're going to do. And we do have some handouts today. So a couple of things. First of all, I'm recording this, so I'm going to send a copy of the recording along with the handout. So right now I'm putting in the slide deck, and that's in your chat box. So you can click on that link, open the slide deck, or you can wait until tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to send a copy of the recording. I'm going to send a copy of the slide deck. And at the end of this presentation, we have some really cool things that we're going to be sharing with you. We promise to send you some items that you can share with your real estate partners. So we are going to do that. So let's get started. As I said, my name is Ginger Bell. I am the founder and CEO of Edu Marketing. Have had the pleasure and privilege of working with First Funding for many years as a training consultant and love everything that they do. And with me, I have Mr. Greg Chafin, who is the Director of Marketing for First Funding. And so welcome, Greg.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, or thanks for everybody showing up today. We do appreciate it. I guess we'll just get right into it.
Yeah, and really, Greg, I want to lead off with a question to the
Sure.
audience, and I know you're going to key up some of these things. Have you ever had these happen? And if you see something that has ever happened, type in the chat box, type in the Q&A box, say, yeah, I've had that. What are some of the things that we're asking about? And maybe you've had it today or yesterday that some of these things have happened.
So basically, have you ever had a closing in funding that's missed because of wire cutoff? Uh, have you had to push a funding because you didn't get your clear to close in time? Uh, had a funding where the wire was there, but it was short. You couldn't get a supplemental wire. Have you had a house where you didn't get your final inspection done in time to close the deal? Uh, have you had a closing that had to be delayed because the borrower didn't open and confirm receipt of the CD in time, or you missed a closing because your funds were sent, but nobody could find them? They were either applied to the wrong account, or or they just couldn't find them. They didn't show up in time.
Yeah, and so, the reality is, Greg, all of us have had things like this that have happened. And in fact, I believe it was just like a week and a half ago that the Federal Reserve actually went down. Is that right?
Yeah, the Fed went down on February 24th, and they had a disruption in service, and it totally went down. It went down for about 3 hours.
Right.
But during that time, using this FlexClose product, First Funding did not go down. We were able to fund $33 million in loans
That's
during the time that
amazing.
the Fed was down. So
Yeah.
we did not
So,
have a disruption in service.
yeah. And so those kind of hiccups it have, first of all, an effect on you and your business and the headaches. And I know we have a lot of people on here who deal with this day in and day out as far as fundings. And so having the opportunity to be able to say, hey, not a problem, got this covered, is absolutely great news. And that's what we're here to talk about. And so beginning with, this is really, Greg, the first time ever in mortgage banking history that we have the ability to fund outside the federal wire cutoff time, right?
Yeah, that is. What First Funding has done is we've teamed up with a title insurer to solve the issues that we looked at earlier. Uh, FlexClose is the proprietary product that will eliminate.
Perfect. So some of the things that they will eliminate include,
Yeah, your wire delays, your wire cutoffs, busted locks, missed FHA payoffs and VA payoffs, loans rolling to the next month. And buyers not, a lot of times at the end of the month, buyers are, they're waiting to move into the home. They got the moving truck sitting there and you can't fund the deal. And you're having to put them up in a hotel over the weekend, which really cuts into your margins. But we can eliminate all these things, and we have with FlexClose Funding.
so let's talk about exactly what is FlexClose funding.
Okay, well, FlexClose Funding is an exclusive offering only for First Funding customers to move funds quickly and efficiently outside of the Federal Reserve wire platform. And that's the important part, that we're moving funds outside of the Fed. And we'll kind of go into that a little bit more later.
Right. So let's talk about, why would somebody want this? I mean, what difference, things that
saying,
happen
well,
right
Greg,
now, right? Why do I need this?
Yeah, why do I need this? Because, Greg, I've never had any problems closing and funding a deal. Every deal I've ever done has been perfect.
So is that true? I'm going to stop you just a minute because I want, for those of you who are on the call, if you have had every single deal that is absolutely perfect and you've never had an issue as far as funding, type in the chat box, type in the Q&A box, say, Ginger got it covered 100%. Because I know it's not consistent. I mean, it's not going to see this every day, but when it happens, it's a nightmare. And those are the things. And I'm not saying one person type in here that they've had 100% perfect where they haven't had a problem. So, this is really one of those things. It doesn't happen all the time, right, Greg?
No, it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, it's an outlier is what it is sometimes. But, when things get busy, especially at the end of the month, I think that, on a Friday on the last Friday of the month, right before the weekend or before a holiday weekend, things get busy.
Yeah.
And people are at operational capacity.
Right.
And
Well, actually, I'm seeing in here, Billy shared, missed wires and cutoffs are more often than not.
yeah, and we can eliminate that, and we'll go into that. But what FlexClose Funding does, it's an easy and efficient way to fund your loans. And what it allows is your immediate delivery of funds. So you have priority funding status with FlexClose when you fund it through us. Like I said, it's outside of the Fed wire cutoff, so we're not hindered by that pipeline. We're going outside of the Fed. It gives you the ability to give superior and customized customer service. So you're offering something that nobody else in your market can pretty much offer. And it cuts down on the stress. It cuts down on the stress for you, the lender, for the escrow agents, for the buyers, for the sellers, and for the real estate agents. Because you have what we call certainty of funds. You know your funds are going to be there. Your funds are there first. They have priority status. So you really don't have to worry about it. And what it does, it eliminates the wire delays, the wire cutoff deadlines, and the missed FHA VA payments. So it's a really good tool, not only to help you work more efficiently, but it's a selling tool to go out to the realtors and say, hey, we've got this program where you don't have to worry about your customers.
Right.
All you have to do is do a certain number of things on the front end, and it ensures that your deal is going to get done without worry and without stress.
Right. And I mean, those missed the FHA and the VI payoffs, that's a whole month. I mean, we're not talking about a day. We're not talking about extending a lock for a couple days. We're talking about that entire month payment, which can throw, honestly, I've seen it to where if you miss that, it completely throws a deal out. You're done.
Yeah, it can kill a deal.
Yeah. So having that opportunity to say, hey, not a problem, we can do this is huge. So next we want to talk about, sounds fabulous and absolutely phenomenal, but how does it work? Is there anything extra that we have to do?
Well, let's first look at a traditional closing and funding. So when you're first doing when you're ordering a wire in a traditional platform, the lender's going to order the wire from the warehouse facility, their bank. Their bank is going to order the wire, and it's going to go through the Fed. Now, the Fed handles all the wires coming in and out of the country, all back and forth all across the country. And like we said, the Fed can go down.
Right.
So the Fed, once it processes the deal, it ships it out to the receiving bank. Now, that receiving bank has to accept it. They've got to process it, and then they've got to put it in an escrow account. And now the escrow account has to go and search for it because they don't know when it's coming in. And it can take hours, especially at the end of the month. I've seen wires take two to 3 hours from the wire order till it shows up in an escrow account.
Right.
And what that does is people are always looking. You're wasting time checking on wires. And as you get toward the end of the day, the anxiety and the stress level tends to go up. And wires are susceptible to delays because of operational capacity, human error. Somebody fat fingers the wiring instructions, or somebody applies it to the wrong escrow account. And it's also susceptible to wire fraud, to people giving somebody the wrong number, and boom, those funds go out somewhere else.
Which is huge. I mean, we look at the huge increase with wire fraud. And so having that ability to really eliminate that is huge. So this is our traditional closing. So now let's look at what a FlexClose Funding closing looks like.
In the FlexClose Funding, you have to think about it. With FirstFunding, we have an account at First American Trust. And First American Trust is a bank. And it's a bank, and it's owned by First American Financial. And they run all the escrow accounts for First American and First American agents through the trust bank. FirstFunding has an account there. So when we take an order, a FlexClose order, think of it as moving funds from your savings to your checking account to pay a bill.
And that's it. Just online. I'm on my app on my phone. I can just move, boom, it's done, right?
Yeah, and that's basically what a FlexClose is. You order the wire from us, and we move it from our account to the escrow account, and we're done. And those things are teed up the previous night. They go out first thing in the morning, and they're there. So there's no wire delays. There's no going through the Fed. And so it's an efficient process. So it allows you to manage your time and your schedule more efficiently. You're not going to miss anything due to wire cutoffs because we have an extended cutoff on this. Technically, we can fund after hours, we can fund weekends, and we can fund on federal holidays. We can move funds. We can move and disperse funds. This reduces stress for everybody. And
so this is gone.
Yeah.
All of these from the lender to the Federal Reserve to the bank and then to escrow is gone, and it's virtually
and
there.
We're going straight to here. We're cutting out the two banks and the Federal Reserve, and so that's why it's so efficient.
Right. So Daniel's asking, can FlexClose allow us to do same-day fundings?
Yeah, we do same-day fundings now. And matter of fact, you can do a same-day funding with FlexClose. I think the cutoff for a wire submission for a FlexClose is 4:30 p.m. Central.
of the same day.
of the same day.
Wow. So, I mean, if you're looking at, and for those of you who are on the West Coast, like I am, it's always been a huge issue. First of all, you look at that timeline for the federal cutoff at 5 p.m. Eastern. Well, that's 2 p.m. East for us at our time, right? So same day fundings are difficult. Um, and I'm seeing here, Joshua, I've submitted as late as the cutoff and still get the same day service. Very nice. Joshua, thank you. We love hearing that. And I think that's important too. The other thing that's important is like if you want to plan, because how many times do you say, okay, I know this is going to be a same day funding because this has backed it up. And when you're at the end of the whole show that's going on and it's going to be like, okay, I see it coming. This is going to be down to the wire. The agent's going to be on me. Everybody's going to be on me, and you can set it up. So it really goes into that planning ahead of time, right? To where it's like, hey, I know we can do this. This is what we're going to do. This is what I need. Then it gives you that ability to be more prepared, right?
Yeah, and what it also does is it allows you to conduct business 2 hours more, 2 to 3 hours more a day. If you look at it, it's 1 to 4:30. It's 3.5 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 7 days a week. You can do half a days on Saturday mornings if you plan it. You can work with builders and real estate agents, and basically if you marry it with an e-closing, you can close and fund at the house that the buyers are buying, and have the builder hand over the keys.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, you can extrapolate this. You can do some really cool stuff with it.
Yeah. So I'm seeing clarification. So I had talked about the cutoff at 5 p.m. That is with the Federal Reserve. So same day funding cutoff with FlexClose is at 4:30, right?
4:30 Central
Central
Time.
time, which on the West Coast, guys, is 2:30. So I'm seeing some clarification here as far as timelines. Yes, you got to figure out your time zone, what that is.
Now the 4:30 Central Time for FlexClose, that's for the request. That's
Wow.
just for the request.
So
So you can put in a request. Our standard cutoff for regular, if we're going through the Fed, is 1 p.m.
yeah,
for your
very
request.
good. Yep. So I'm seeing a lot of questions on how to do it. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Okay. So what you have to do, there's a couple of components. The first component is you've got to be a FirstFunding customer. The second component is you've got to work with a First American direct office or a FlexClose title agent. There are FlexClose title agents out there that have escrow accounts with First American Trust. You've got to make sure that the title insurance policy has been underwritten by a title underwriter approved by FirstFunding. And since we're just now rolling this out, First American is the only approved title underwriter. We're working on others, but right now we're not there yet. If you're ordering the wire in our FastPass platform and you're going to go down, you're going to select yes if the loan is FlexClose eligible. And you'll know that because the wiring instructions, the ABA will always be the same. It's going to be that 1-222-41255,
Which is the bank.
which is the escrow.
Yeah. So really, this is a matter of making sure that, first of all, you've established that relationship to work with a First American direct office or a FlexClose title agent, and you can work with your FirstFunding account executive to find out what that looks like. And then the next thing is to make sure that the title insurance policy has been underwritten by a title underwriter that's approved by FirstFunding. And so First American is the approved title underwriter for FlexClose. So this is not for all of your loans, but I mean, why not? Honestly, I know, Greg, it's a huge advantage to be able to say, let's look at who the title company is. And especially as you're setting that up, because for a purchase business, your buyers have the choice of who they want to close with. A lot of times I know it's by the seller, right? But they do have the choice under RESPA to be able to choose whoever they want to close with.
Yeah, and
So,
a lot of times we know that the real estate agents direct that business, and we understand that. Uh, but we also know that this is something you can go to a real estate agent with and say, "Hey, look what we can do, and look how this can impact your business, and look how you can give better customer service and
yeah,
not ever have a hiccup." It's a good way to go and talk to real estate agents and to home builders.
absolutely. And so things to remember as far as getting a loan, and it's not, again, it's not for all of the loans, but if you do want a FlexClose funding, then these are the things to remember.
Yeah, your FlexClose loans during a FlexClose doesn't have to be an after hours or a weekend thing. It could be during the normal course of business. But those loans receive priority treatment, and they're going to go out first, and they're going to go out fast, and you have to wait. Your request must be in by 4:30, because if you get it in after that, you got to give us time to process the request, basically. If you plan it and you know it's going to be after hours, there's a place in the FastPass or wire order platform where you can notate that. Escrow's got to be a First American Direct Office or a FlexClose agent with an escrow sub-escrow account at First American Trust. The escrow will receive the funds via trust wire, and they'll be viewable in their FAST system, because some of the agents aren't really familiar with FlexClose, so we have to remind them sometimes. And if you're going to go after hours, here you go, check the box. And if you are going to go after hours, you have to alert all parties to the transaction. We've come into this where they've said, "Hey, we're going to do FlexClose," but they don't tell anybody for an after hours. So you got to let escrow know, you got to let the buyer know, you got to let the seller, the real estate agent, and the loan officer. Everybody's got to be informed if you're going to do an after hours or on weekend closing. So those are kind of the things that you need to think about if you're going to do it after hours or weekends.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, and I'm going to get over to some questions here, Greg. And Claire's asking, let's talk about closing in the garage with a builder on a weekend.
Say that again?
Let's talk about closing in the garage with a builder on the weekend.
Yeah, we can do that. If you set up with FlexClose, if you're telling everybody you got to do it and all parties
Agree.
Agree, what we'll do is we'll plop those on Friday afternoon. We'll put those funds in the escrow account. And so they're available for escrow to disperse the next day. And in California, we developed a form where you can actually move and convey property. If all parties agree, we can convey property, disperse, and hand over the keys in dry funding states.
Right. And for situations like that, that's a planning thing. So it's not a matter of, oh, hey, it's Saturday, it's 3:00. Yeah, sure, we can do this. You need to think ahead. So yes, we can do it, but you also need to plan for it.
Yeah, you've got to plan for those sort of things, especially on the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're possible. We have home builders doing it now.
Yeah. And so that's talk about being a competitive advantage. If you want to go after talking to home builders, this is such an incredible way to do that, right?
Well, and I think now's the time to start doing it, because I mean the rates are starting to creep up, and it's not like they're gonna shoot through the roof. But what's going to happen is eventually we're going to move more into a purchase market. I know Dallas is a really hot market as far as home sales, and you put your house on the market and it's gone, it's not there for a week. But if you do move out, you don't have any place to go.
Right. Right.
So it's a great thing to go and talk to realtors about, and talk to home builders about, and start planting those seeds now, so you can capture that business when the market starts to move.
Right. Absolutely. So a couple of questions. Are there any extra fees for using FlexClose?
No, matter of fact, we give a credit because it lowers our risk of wire fraud. we actually give a credit on our funding fee for each FlexClose transaction, and the credit's $100.
So there's actually a credit for doing it, which is a little unusual.
Yep.
Okay, so Barbara is asking, can you use FlexClose when using a fulfillment company so that they place the order?
Not, it's the same. You just have them because they're seeing the same screens, and you just tell them it's a FlexClose transaction, and they click the box in our platform, and it alerts everybody to it.
Yep.
And a lot of times our platform will look at the ABA number, and if it's deemed a FlexClose, if the title agent is First American, the title underwriter is First American, and we see that ABA number, it's automatically a FlexClose. It goes through that platform, and you get the credit. You really don't have to do anything.
Right. So Claire's asking for you to repeat that FlexClose funding fee, how much it is.
It's not a fee, it's a credit. It's a $100 credit off of our funding fee.
So you already have a funding fee. That's part of every loan. We know that.
Right.
So if you use FlexClose, you're actually giving $100 credit.
Correct.
So you're giving them money back to close in a way that's more efficient, more safe, more secure, and better for the customer.
Yeah, what were we thinking? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, we give $100 credit because it substantially reduces our wire risk.
Right.
But yeah.
So Barbara's asking, is a FlexClose agent based on the title underwriter? And she says that she saw something to the point of FlexClose that listed the A title underwriter, such as Old Republic.
No, that's a totally different subject, to be quite honest.
Okay. Which we're not going to get into today. But Barbara, you can talk to your account executive, and they can get into that.
Right.
Okay. But to qualify for FlexClose, just to reiterate, the closing agent and title must be with First American Title.
Yeah, the title underwriter has to be a First American. It has to be approved by FirstFunding, but the title underwriter right now needs to be a First American title policy.
Perfect.
Number two, you got to be at a First American direct office or a FlexClose agent. And we've got you can ask your AE about if you've got an agent in your area. We've signed up 11 so far. Some of them have a national footprint. Some of them do not. Some of them are local and have a smaller geographical footprint. But I know that FirstAm's got a national footprint. They're out.
Yeah, exactly. So who are your FirstAm? And you know, everybody has their favorite, but reach out to your FirstAm office and find out, you know, who they are, and be able to set that up.
That's easy to find.
Yep. So the reason why is obviously it's going to give you a competitive edge, an exclusive edge, because this is only available to FirstFunding customers, period. That's it. Yep. Nobody else. It's not like Quicken does this. It's not like Loan Depot does this. It's not like anybody else in your area does this unless they're doing business with FirstFunding. So it's a huge competitive advantage.
Yeah, and the thing is, because no other title insurer has a bank or owns a bank. The bank that the First American Trust is what's called an industrial bank. They do not have depositors. They don't have checking accounts. They don't have savings accounts. Their only purpose is to move funds to escrow securely. That's all it does.
Yep. So what we have done, because we want you to be able to use this to position yourself as this exclusive edge, this exclusive advantage. And so what we have done is created what we call a FlexClose content in a box. And we are going to be sending you, tomorrow I'm going to send you in an email, you'll get a copy to these items here. So we have made 3 different social media graphics. So these are little social media that graphics that you can use on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, that just talks about the advantage of FlexClose. You can use that, type something into your social media, and use that to market. So we've got 3 different things: be the hero, nail the closing, don't get stuck, and plan ahead. And then we've also created 3 different infographics. So these go into a little more detail. These you can put into an email. You can post these on social. You can send it out on a text. You can use it as a printout if you're going, to meet with a realtor, whatever. So we have these 3 available. Again, be the hero, plan ahead, don't get stuck. And then we have also created 3 videos. And Greg, I do a ton in my business, which is edu marketing on video production. We create YouTube channels for loan originators. We manage their social media. We, edit all their videos, and video is everything. If you're not doing video, you really need to do video. And this is an opportunity for you to really use video as a competitive advantage. And so what we've done is we have created 3 professional videos for you to use. You can brand them. If you don't have someone that can brand them, Greg, we could do a webinar maybe next month, and I can show how to, brand it and do an intro and things like that. We could put something like that together. If you guys would be interested in that, type in the Q&A box, type in the chat box, let me know. We're happy to do that. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to show you what the video looks like.
Don't get stuck when the moving truck is ready, but the loan hasn't funded. If you've been in real estate long enough, this has probably happened to a buyer, but it doesn't have to. When you work with a FlexClose Certified lender, deadlines are a thing of the past. A FlexClose Certified lender can fund at any time on any day. Really, they're not limited to the federal wire cutoff times, so they can fund a loan anytime. With FlexClose, there is the unique ability to actually request and have good funds delivered without regard to the federal wire cutoffs, and still be able to close, fund, and disperse escrow proceeds on the same calendar day, allowing your buyers to move into the house at precisely the day they plan to, providing a better customer experience for everyone. When you work with a FlexClose Certified lender, you get the benefits of planning your fundings, funding on time, providing the best customer service to your buyers and sellers, and it virtually eliminates the wire risks normally associated with transmittal of funding alone. Why not give your clients peace of mind of a specific funding time so they don't have to spend the day waiting? Contact your FlexClose Certified lender to learn more about our flexible closing options.
So there you go. So we're going to give you 3 different videos. So the idea with the videos is for you to send out to your real estate agents, to post on social media, to put it on your YouTube channels. And how many of you are doing video right now? How many of you, and first of all, how many of you are actually involved in doing marketing? Some of it, I know on the call are not, are on the operations side. So marketing is like, no, not involved in it, and that's fine. But if you are an originator or you are an owner and are interested in finding out about how to use more of the FlexClose in a box program, how to use this to stand out, then let your AE know, or type in the chat box, type in the Q&A box, and let us know. And if you see value in this, if these are things that you're going to use, because that's the whole idea in putting this together. We want to be able to have you not only use this program, but to be able to use it to position yourself as the premium company to go to in your area that has this ability. And so those are the things. So I'm saying, Daniela, you're involved in marketing. Okay, good, helpful. And Levi, yes, we will send the videos. So if you're registered, we're going to send you the videos. And you can go ahead and grab those. And what I'll do, I'm going to send a copy of the videos. If you want, I'm going to post these in the chat real quick. You will see a bunch of URLs. And so if you want to just copy everything I just put in the chat and put it onto a Word document, you can have access to it right now. Otherwise, I'm going to send you a copy out tomorrow. But any additional questions, then Greg, contact their First Funding account executive, right? Did I lose Greg? I think we lost Greg. Greg, are you there?
Oh,
I set that up so well for you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you did. You beat me up. Yes, I'm here in the office. The rest of the sales team is out in Florida, making sales calls and at a Florida trade show. But yeah, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to explain it in more detail and what you need to do and how to use FlexClose and how to set yourself up as a FlexClose certified lender and market that to realtors and get that out in the marketplace and make yourself the go-to lender in the realtor and builder world.
Awesome. Great. Well, very good. Well, Greg, thank you so much for the information, for all that you do. For those of you who are on the call, thank you so much for all that you do. Truly appreciate you. And absolutely, anything you need, we're here to help. So I'm getting one final question here. Barbara's asking, will you send us a contact for First American?
If Barbara will tell me what her market area is, yes, I will.
So let me put this. So I'm going to put Greg's email address up in here if you don't know. So she is in Miami, South Florida. Where are the boys at right now?
They are at the Gold Coast show, at the Broward Gold Coast show.
Wherever that is.
Wherever it is in Florida. I don't know. I didn't go. I wasn't invited.
Okay. So Greg, I just put your email address up there. So Barbara, if you want to just shoot an email over to Greg at the email gchafin@firstfundingusa.com, then he can respond and get you in touch with a First American contact in New York.
I think Barbara's in Florida, if I do remember.
Yeah, Miami, correct? South Florida, she said.
Yeah, we've got probably 4 FlexClose agents in the state that I'm aware of.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Awesome. Well, you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. And if there's anything else we can do, by all means, let us know. You know, part of the content that we developed for you and the content in the box, the videos and the social media and the graphics, what we want to know is, and anyone, so Levi, if you are interested, send Greg an email. We're going to put together a very small beta group that can talk about some of the things that we can do as far as marketing to be able to use to help you stand out. And so I'm seeing a copy of the presentation. So we have a copy of the presentation, which I am putting into the chat box along with all of the others. And then we're sending out a copy of the recording and a copy of the presentation and a copy of all the things we're going to give you tomorrow in an email. So that will come as a follow-up along with recording. So Sam will send everything to you. So Claire's asking, is there training to become a FlexClose agent?
There's not a whole lot of training for an agent to be in it, for a First American agent to become FlexClose eligible or FlexClose certified. They do have to set up an escrow account with the First American Trust Bank. And a lot of that depends on, you know, it's basically just setting up a savings account is what it is. And then there's some integration involved, but it's not that big of a deal. I think we've signed up 11 First American agents so far to be FlexClose certified. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just a matter of getting the paperwork done and following through on it.
Cool.
But I want to remind everybody, if you need marketing content or help creating marketing content, you need to reach out to Ginger. And what's the site? edumarketing.com?
Yeah. Thank you.
And
That's very
reach
sweet
out
of
to
you.
Victor and look at what she can offer as far as helping you market yourself to realtors out there in the marketplace. It's a really good platform, and that's why we're using it to help our lenders.
Right. Yeah.
But she can stylize and customize things for you and your market.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet. And one of the things that we love doing, so being able to help you stand out and to educate, or what we call edu marketing, right? It's using
You go.
education to market and position yourself, which is why we put together the materials. So we want you to go out and educate, talk about this as an ability, and to be able to stand out. So if there's anything else we can do, by all means, get in touch with us. Shoot Greg an email if you want to find out about getting involved in our beta group. So we're going to do a very small group of originators, because I want to find out what are the things that you want to talk about with closing, with title, with how can you stand out. Those are things we want to put together. So if you're interested in that, shoot Greg an email. We're going to start that in April, and we'd love to have you a part of it. So again, thank you so much. You guys have stayed on for a long time. I love it. So that's very good. And you guys have a wonderful day. And I do look forward to hopefully seeing soon. By the way, we do have a survey that's going out in a lot of our emails. We want to find out if you all are going to go to NAM National, or if you're thinking about going to NAM National. Obviously, we're hoping by October, the vaccines will be kicking in. We'll be able to actually start seeing each other and hugging each other and all the things we haven't done for the past year. So if you're thinking about going to NAM National, or if you're not thinking about, think about it, because it will be a great opportunity to get together.
Looking forward to seeing people smile again.
Yeah, without a mask on.
Yeah, not a mask on.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.